My live action MCU minifigure collection has been growing through some customs, of course, the CMF figures that have come out from LEGO officially, and that trend is going to continue with another Jaka brick Defender character. Not from that show, obviously, but it is going to be from She-Hulk, being the yellow and red kind of classic Daredevil costume. Let's go ahead and check out the contents of the packaging, which will be the Jaka plastic case. A lot of their figures nowadays come in these. Inside, it's going to have the figure in its own bag, plus accessories. Extra head, more accessories, and you get that metal card most custom figures come with, that metallic silver sheen to it. On the other side, Jaka's information. These are all official LEGO parts, other than obviously the ones that are custom molded, but are also pad printed just like LEGO, so they're going to be high quality. Let's go ahead and get this figure on the stand and check it out. At first glance at Daredevil, I'll definitely say this is a good looking figure. Loving the detailing. There's some texturing all over the printing to make it seem like it is that mesh material. Same goes for the arms, where there's like the armor plating sort of detailing. The molded helmet looks good too. The color of it is a little paler on the top and doesn't necessarily match the pearl gold on the head where the face is printed on. Based off of reference images from the show, you know, the gold on the side of the head probably shouldn't actually be there, but it does make sense in the context of the figure, where you do need to print the face on something, and having the gold there on the sides is just going to be inevitable based on the head that you print it on. Since if it was a flesh head, you'd still have to print something around it to match up with the helmet. You can see it comes with his 2 different billy clubs. And something cool about these is that they are magnetic. So you take one of them out, you could combine it with the other half. So that's kind of cool. And same goes for if you wanted to put on the other half. So 2 different options there for that. Just while we're looking at the accessories, the hands are also printed. So I love that about Jaka, is that they're always adding just something a little bit extra to their printing to make it a little bit more above and beyond. Boot printing looks good too. And let's just see, is there complete wraparound? Yes, there is. You can see boots on the inside of the legs too. Nice to see all the high quality printing all around the figure. Only area where it doesn't really have any printing is going to be on the side of the torso, but for me, don't mind that, since the arms move in that area and it could get wrecked anyway. I'm liking the color combos though. You know, there are some conflicting colors, but I feel like it's decent contrast where they kind of complement each other. You can see the paler yellow is on the helmet and that shoulder pad, but then there's also the pearl gold right next to that. So the different golds don't stand out completely, since they do kind of blend with other elements of the design. And like I've just been saying, you know, I've been pretty happy with what I'm seeing so far. Helmet has some gray inside of some of those creases, and getting that head off. You can see nothing on the back, but some decent design work. You can see that it uses that goggle sort of print that was done by LEGO as well for some of their official figures, whether it was Wolverine or some other Batman minifigures. But it's a cool looking head. I think the facial hair works pretty well too, and the flesh on the gold doesn't stand out to me too much. I think it is pretty true to any other light nougat or light flesh, whatever colored pieces. So good to see that looking good. There's another head print as well, and this will be the same concept but with a smile instead of the more stern look. So you can see both heads right next to each other there, both having the same sort of goggle printing. And I think both faces are good too. Like I said, I do like the facial hair. I think the design for that is done very well. Getting the helmet onto this one, I think this might be my preferred look, honestly, if I can get that on. I think the smile looks good. Very fitting for comics Daredevil. You know, the Netflix show Daredevil probably won't be smiling as much like this. But for that classic man without fear look, I think that's pretty cool. I'd say the one thing that is missing from this version of the suits, it is based off of the more classic Daredevil design, is that it just doesn't have the D on it. Not inaccurate to the show, but I think that would have been a fun little detail, since the MCU suits are a little bit more comic accurate than the original Netflix style suits. Another cool thing, I'll just move the billy clubs out of the way. On that leg, you can see that he does have the little holster for the billy clubs. They're going to be a little too big to fit in there, you can see, but that little implied detail is nice to improve the figure as well. And this version doesn't come with a civilian head, unfortunately, but I do have a cross-check one that I'll throw on quick. And the detailing on both of the styles here isn't going to clash too much. And you could really throw on any Matt Murdock head onto these if you really wanted to. I know a couple different companies have put out versions of the head print for that. But what a great figure. I'm loving all the different detailings all the way around. There's wraparound printing on the legs, which is great. You know, the arms aren't going to be completely 360 around there, but I do like the arm printing that is there. And just continuing from the different edges of the parts, whether it's the legs going from the front to the side, transition's perfect. Same for the back there. Just great detailing, great accuracy to the show, it seems like, and cool accessories. Let's go ahead and get to the comparisons and the final verdict. It's kind of crazy looking at the custom figures here next to these CMF minifigures that just came out in Wave 2 of the Marvel series. And Lego's getting really close with some of the detailing on those figures. You know, when you look at a great Jaka figure like this, it's not going to be perfect compared to the Lego ones where they miss out on different wraparound printings and just molded accessories. You know, they can get a little bit smaller and more detailed in that regard since they don't have to worry about it being play tested or anything like that. But looking at these three next to each other with the Defenders, really just need a custom Lego Jessica Jones, and I think Jaka is going to be getting that out eventually. So I'll have that team. And I guess when someone puts out another custom Punisher, I'll pick that up as well. I'm sure with the new Daredevil series that'll end up happening. But you know what I do really like? The official Lego one here. It's not a perfect like classic look, so you know it could blend in with these show ones where they kind of blend the line of comic and show, where it could go either way depending on the context you put it in. And again, just more mature sort of audience shows that have gotten Lego figures. So Lego's kind of getting there on their own where they're putting out stuff for that more adult-orientated content from the MCU. So it could happen, you know, maybe Lego themselves will put out a Daredevil minifigure eventually from the show. But love seeing it next to She-Hulk. You know, I really like She-Hulk. I know other people might have different opinions, but it was just great to get Daredevil back in a suit again in that show, and you know, a little bit in No Way Home, but not fully decked out in a superhero gear. And all three of these Jaka figures are awesome. Love seeing those all together. And thank you MFJ Customs again for this figure. He hooked me up a while back with the KO Customs Deathlock that I reviewed, so gotten both these figures from him. Super thankful for that. Great additions to the collection. I'm very happy to have them. Let me know though, so far out of the three Jaka Defenders minifigures, which one is your favorite? I think it's an obvious choice for Daredevil here since he does have the more detailing, and these do end up being the light figures where they don't have printed legs or anything, so a bit lacking in that regard, but I do think the prints on all of these are great, and you're not going to be bummed about those at all. You're going to be super happy. If you want to see more custom Lego Marvel or custom Lego videos overall, check out all the videos on my channel. I've been Brick Radiop, and I'll see you in the next video.